So yeah, and I think my kids were 7, 5, and 3 when I started my company 13 years ago.
What made you just decide to think, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it on my own. I'm in a new city. I can do this from my previous experiences. The business should need it. I mean,
yeah, I'd like to say that I preconceived this idea, right? But I didn't. Yeah. My kids were taking art lessons from an upside down artist that I actually met at the art festival that year.
Yeah.
And art had been taken out of our elementary schools because it's budgeted differently so they can remove it, which I hated. So being that I am of East Indian descent, I still do think it's very important for the arts to be in my children's lives because I think it's a stress reliever.
100%.
From me pushing them into math and science a little bit.
Here's a paintbrush. Here's paint.
It's a little.
Knock yourself out.
Yeah. Or what if that was their passion? You know, I mean, my kids were actually pretty talented at art. So, she was doing upside down art, and I just went up to her and asked her, hey, do you do lessons? And she ended up living 2 miles away from me.
Oh, perfect.
So I took my 7-year-old there. Yeah. My 5-year-old started pretty soon after, and she was going to open an art gallery in Moore, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And I just started talking to her, and out came all of this
previous experience of what you've done.
Just knowledge that I hadn't used in 8 years.
Yeah.
And she said, well, let me just hire you. And I thought, oh, well, I better have a company.
I better start my LLC.
I better do something. I mean, a consultant's the best job for a stay-at-home mom because I can be flexible. I can do everything I can.
Yeah, you work from your phone.
You work from, So, so I just started it. Started the LLC and
off you go.
Off I went, and I mean, it was slow. I mean, I didn't.
Well, yeah.
No, but you got to prove yourself and do all that. But I wasn't out hustling. I had 3 little kids. I was just doing what I could do.
It's not like I'm going to make a career out of this at that point, right?
Yeah,
it's like,
I mean,
this is some extra income or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I probably made a couple $100 that year. Like, I didn't even. It wasn't anything like that at all. I had no idea what was about to happen to me until 2 years later, and I walked into an Uptown 23rd District meeting that I saw on Facebook. And my entire life changed. I was scrolling Facebook in 2011.
Yeah.
And I really do enjoy all of those restaurants and businesses on Uptown 23rd. And so I somehow saw this invitation to come out. Anyone's welcome. And we met at what was
just
then being built.
As a meeting for whoever.
Yeah, that's how it starts. Yeah. You know, districts and communities kind of start that way. It's like, hey, a call for anyone that wants to volunteer because you need help. You have no money.
Yeah.
And this was in what was being built as Granddad's Bar.
Okay.
Which was then Rockford, which is now the Eleanor. And Greg and Jennifer Seal were the owners. And I walked into this. I mean, I knew nobody.
Right.
You know, I took my minivan and I parked it outside Queens Wigs and thought, I'm just going to go walk in here and just see. And you walk in and there's like 50 people. The energy is electric.
Right.
I'm just sitting there like, this is crazy. You have business owners, you have neighbors, you have city council people, you have everybody. I mean, just everybody there, and it's so cool. So I'm just kind of sitting back. I've written my name on a list and my contact info, and I'm just sitting there.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, what are they doing?
Right.
You know,
Who's
like, they're like
thing?
making a district. This is so cool. At this point, I think they had kind of gotten the logo that everybody sees now is pretty much finalized. So that's where they were. But they needed help, and this is how every community starts.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of volunteers. I mean, for anyone out there, I cannot say enough about the volunteers that it has taken to get every single district that like around you up and running. It's a lot of volunteer. The city had just started, I think very recently, a CDRP program by Kim Cooper Hart, which I applaud a lot. That is why you all have all these districts, is because of that. They give you seed money.
Gotcha.
They give you some in the grand scheme of things is the smallest budget.
Right, but it's a start.
But you can do so much.
Yeah,
and so we did. I would see their financials, and you know, after that meeting, the marketing guy, Matt Rawls, called me and said, hey, I see that you do marketing. Do you want to volunteer? And I'm like, acting like I have all these clients. I didn't have one client, nothing.
Like maybe.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, I guess sure, why not? And I volunteered, and I started, and about 3 months later, we were in a marketing meeting, and they're like, somebody needs to handle our social media. And I remember Chris Lauer with Big Truck Tacos, and I do name drop a lot here, you guys, and that's just because I'm so proud of every single person I've ever met. I'm
when
just
you also
proud
know
to
them
even
personally as
when
well.
you know them,
Right.
Yeah. I hope no one cares that I'm name dropping their name, but
It's
like they're part of my story, and they don't really know what my story was. I didn't talk about my kids. You don't talk about that stuff when you're is just starting out, you don't want anyone to think, oh, she's going to have a PTA meeting, she's not going to be able to come.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of really proud of the fact of people that maybe did know me back then and go, wow, she did all of that and had these little kids that she was running around like a crazy person.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he said, hey, Vilona knows we have no money. Just hire her. And so, which is true. I mean, for like hundreds of dollars, like nothing, you guys. And I said, sure, why not? And here's the thing that happens. I take over social media. Well, then all of a sudden, I take over membership because the membership is kind of the purpose of it is marketing. So then all of a sudden, I'm introducing myself to all these different people and all these business owners and the social media takes off. And I mean, we had 1,500 followers between Facebook and Twitter. We weren't on Instagram. And so I ended up working with them for a few years, started their Uptown Uncorked fundraising event. First one was in the Gold Dome, probably will never happen again. That was amazing for 400 people that got to attend. That was an experience. Oklahoma History Center was the second one, did their membership, left them with $85,000.
That's amazing.
And left and kept going. And just what happened was during that time, I had other people then saying, hey, I need you at Class and Curve. I need you at Nichols Hills Plaza. I need you here. They just kept bringing me business. And to this day, that's what's happened to my business. I just am referred and over again. Or someone just meets me.
Just from volunteering for that one event.
Just from volunteering. And I'm big into volunteering. I mean, I'm a big believer in doing that if you can. But then the PR also got built. I didn't think I was going to get into PR. I don't have any.
I don't even know what PR is. Right? Like it's always
that's when you text the newscasters and say, "Hey, so I've got this story."
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's so many things.
There's so many things, and so my company really just does all of it, but with a really strategic foundation where we're not just going to go by the seat of our pants. And so then you've got
there's a goal at the end of this.
There's always a goal. Let me figure out
whatever it is. That's the deadline. That you're working towards. Like previous one, obviously, Mark was on for the Homeland, and that was the new store that you just opened up. Like that was the perfect example, right, of working to a deadline of we're opening this new store. Whereas it could be Uptown, it could be Homeland, it could be whoever. It doesn't have to be necessarily around food, but like Hall of Fame is obviously
Oklahoma Hall of Fame is a client. The Skirvin Hotel is a client. I've had numerous clients from all different facets of all different levels.